Hey guys, and welcome to my Frost Dragon guide for old school. In this video we'll go through how to kill the Frost Dragons using the melee setup. For this setup I'm using the following gear setup. You could change it depending on what gear you have. You probably just do need, I would recommend a Dragon Hunter Lance. To be fair though, you could kill the dragons with a whip or any other weapon. It's just obviously the Dragon Hunter Lance is going to be much more efficient. The only better item would probably be the scythe. So this is a reasonably high level gear setup, but not too far out of reach for players that are obviously higher level. To get to Frost Dragons, you want to come to this island here, which is Grimstone, which requires 87 sailing, and Grimstone is approximately northeast of Relica. So if you're sailing here for the first time, you'll need a Eternal Brazier to get through the ice, and then it's relatively accessible. Once you get to the island, you actually unlock the fairy ring, which is in the dungeon. So we'll just go and show you guys. Pray mage when you come down here if you don't want to get hit by the walruses that are aggro. Cool, so here we are. So this is the main entrance. So you can go up the large stone ledges. This will be the only entrance to the Frost Dragons if you don't have 83 agility. However, if you do have 83 agility, a closer entrance in proximity to the Fairy Ring, which is here, DLP, the agility shortcuts around this corner here. So as you can see, it's slightly quicker to use the agility shortcut if you hit it. There's an ancient furnace here. So another feature of this dungeon is that you can use that, which allows you to get double the speed of smelt cannibals at twice the speed. So it's nice. So in terms of our inventory, we got 3 divine super combat potions, 3 extended super anti-fires, and 16 prayer potions with teleport runes and elk runes. So this setup is designed to allow for approximately, on average, I'm probably getting like 40 to 45 minutes of relatively chill, nearly AFK grinding, and that allows a pretty consistent kills per hour of about 100, 120, over 100 easily. Somewhere between probably on the high end up to 150 kills per hour, depending on your efficiency. The other method is, if you can see, we have a look at Johnny X here. His gear is an example of what you could use if you're maging. So you use the Dragon Hunter wand he's using Phil Virtus. Technically, the maging the dragons is more efficient, I would say. I haven't tested it myself, but more people seem to be maging, and there's a safe spot. Then that's one of the safe spots. So yeah, what we're going to do is pot up and then start our grind. Make sure we get the divine as well. And yeah, they just changed it as of a couple of days ago. The respawn timer of the Frost Dragon is now something like 4 seconds, and it used to be 18 seconds. So there used to be a problem with competing for mobs, but as you can see, there's actually a lot spawning quite consistently around here. So it can sustain a reasonably large amount of players, this method, whereas before it was pretty congested. The main drops that you're going to get from Frost Dragons in terms of drops that are actually valuable, pretty much just 2 items, which is the Dragon Nails which we have up here on the G tracker, and the dragon metal sheet. The reason why the nails are so expensive is because you need like up to 600 dragon nails, for example, for a hull, a rosewood hull, or 300 depending on whether you're upgrading the skiff or the sloop. And as the fastest method in the game for XP is Barracuda Trolls, once you get to the higher tiers of that minigame, you'll certainly want to have the rosewood hull. So players are buying the dragon nails, and there just isn't enough supply. There isn't many other notable monsters in the game that drop dragon nails right now, so that means that frost dragons is a really good consistent moneymaker right now, as long as the price of the dragon nails and the dragon metal sheet hold up. So as you can see, currently it's selling for about 126,000 GP. It's a 1.54% drop chance, so roughly 1 in 65, specifically 1 in 65, sorry. And you get an average of 10. You get an average of 10 nails per drop. So one drop is worth, by the moment, 1.25 mil. So that's going to be the main source. Pretty much half of all the money that you make here is just going to be from dragon nails, which is why you'll notice we aren't actually picking up the bones specifically. Typically, I'll pick up the runes where I have the inventory for, and we just got some dragon nails. So that's 6. So that's on the low end. So they drop anywhere between 5 to 15 dragon nails per kill. So 6 is on the low end. However, that's still nearly 1 mil right there, just from that one drop. And as you can see, we've only been here for a few minutes, which is good. So yeah, I like to find a spot kind of in between other people where you're not, intruding on anyone else's mobs. But as you can see, 4-second, you can pretty much just camp one mob or 2 mobs, and then you'll be good. In terms of the dangers of frost dragons, I suppose the frost breath does hit you if you let a anti-fire lapse. However, the damage is pretty low. I mean, the maximum I've been hit by is about 50. I did die once, just because I wasn't paying attention. But I have a couple of add-ons set up to just remind me to drink potions as they lapse. So yeah, that's dragon nails. The dragon metal sheet, you'll see, is selling for 2.25 mil, which is quite high. So technically, the dragon metal sheet is the most valuable item apart from the visage, which is a really low drop chance anyhow, like a 0.01% drop chance for the visage. So apart from that, the dragon metal sheet is actually a 1 in 200 or 0.5% drop chance. So both, if you combine both the dragon metal sheet and the dragon metal nails on average, you'll probably be getting, like, if you just picked up the sheets and the nails, it's like 4.2 an hour. So you can pretty much just come here, and people do it, and they just leave everything on the ground apart from the sheets and the nails, which isn't a bad thing to do. If you want to get an extra mil or so an hour, then picking up all the runes, the other consumables like rune knives, cannonballs, dragon cannonballs, dragon arrow tips, and some of the rares, as well as the alcohols, is getting me probably like 5 mil an hour at the moment with these prices. But it's fluctuating because depending on the price of the sheets and the nails, it's currently about 5.45 mil an hour roughly, if you can get 150 kills an hour, which is on the high end of efficiency. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the drops. And looking at, I've done 2,150 kills, and you can see the distribution of the loot is pretty much on par with drop rates. I've got 10 sheets, which is depending on if I get one or not in the next 50 kills, will be just pushing me off what drop rate would be. Otherwise, I've got 357 dragon nails, so on average you might get 153 dragon nails per 1,000 kills, so 357 is about just above par, so I've got slightly longer or slightly better drop rates on the nails. But there's been periods of time throughout this grind where I've been trying to figure things out, where I've just been going dry for ages. But as you can see, RNG always measures out in the long term. So consistently, yeah, you'll make like at the moment 5 mil plus an hour. Slightly inefficiently, you'd make like 4 mil, but even like 4 mil an hour is basically what you'd make like killing Vorkalf, which is way higher intensity. This is like really AFK. So yeah, if you want to make some consistent GP and take advantage of the fact that there's a very serious supply constraint for Dragon Nails and sheets, then this is a great moneymaker that's really easy and chill and kind of nostalgic, just killing the dragons. If you wanted to pick up the bones, you could bury them. You get 100 XP per berry. However, it's not worth, if you're going for GP, it's not worth picking up. Like, even if you picked up all the bones, I think you would get an extra maybe like 660k an hour. But you got to account for the fact that you're taking time to pick up each bone, and then you're banking every inventory. You're going to lose way more GP just banking the bones. So I tested it, and yeah, initially I was like, oh, it will make sense to bank the bones, but as it turns out, the people that are dropping them actually know that it's more efficient to do it that way. So yeah, that's it for our guide, guys. And yeah, I guess if you wanted to see another example of the mage setup, the Dragon Hunter wand, this is a Virtus, which is a I guess a medium tier setup. And then I think there's another player up here that has a much higher level. This is probably a much I'm not sure how many kills this type of setup would get you, but it's probably more than 150. So maybe this method could get you up to 6 mil if you're using the higher level mage gear like this person is. However, that's obviously a lot more of an investment. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully this will help you guys ascertain whether this is worth doing. I think that over time that this method will become obviously less and less profitable, but it seems to be holding. The prices kind of seem to be holding somewhat with reasonable fluctuations. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.